Hello guys, I'm Maria with the Witty Mermaid Diaries. Today I would like to discuss with you the third trimester. This is probably the most difficult time.
Usually pregnancy is about 280 days. I'm gonna show you today how to do some of the most suitable exercises during the third trimester to prepare your body and mind for the process of delivery.
And with respect to food, this is the time when I started eating 6 times a day.
One of the most exciting moments of my pregnancy was the time when I started preparing my bag for the labor ward. All those stuff are like a must to have.
The one here is my most favorite cathedral.
I like the piece that I find in the church itself.
And this is the place where you can actually write down your own wish.
I constantly kept reminding myself about this prayer, and I started telling like millions of times a mantra that I have prepared for this occasion. You're strong enough, you can do that, and you're gonna deliver a healthy baby.
Watch the WNS TV.
Stay tuned!
Hello guys, today I would like to discuss with you one very important issue about the pregnancy. The third trimester, this is probably the most difficult time of the pregnancy for any woman because you have gained already some kilograms, you're getting tired, you're feeling pain, and there's so many changes that are happening to you. All this affects not only your body but also your emotions and the way you feel overall. So by this time it's been very funny because I started crying on movies. I have never ever done that, but it appears that my emotions were so strong and I've been feeling thrilled by very small things.
The third trimester of the pregnancy starts with week 28 and lasts up until week 40. Usually pregnancy is about 280 days, so you're getting closer to having your baby in your arms. The kicking nature of phenomenon that you have in your belly is now consuming the majority of calcium that you've got in order to develop a sound bone system. The skin is getting non-transparent and the hairs covering its body are falling down. All of its 5 senses are completely developed, so be careful what you talk about because your belly has ears now, literally. The brain is developing billions of neurons, so dreams, blinking, and self-regulation of body temperature are evident. The baby is changing its position and is responding to stimuli such as light, pain, and sounds. By the end of the 9th month, the baby is finally gonna change its position in order to prepare for labor and delivery. So cool, right? The baby is gonna enter this world quite soon.
During the third trimester, I went to see my doctor again. So I did the regular blood test, urine test, I checked my blood pressure, and I also did an ultrasound because at this very stage, the doctor can see every single organ of the baby. So it's very important to check for some abnormalities or to see whether everything is going fine so that you feel really comfortable for the last days of your pregnancy.
During the third trimester, the nutrients that you and the baby are gonna need the most are vitamin D, vitamin B12, vitamin K, and omega-3. Vitamin D is of a peculiar importance for preventing against certain skeletal malformations, thinning of the bones, and dental defects. It will also protect you from getting early preeclampsia and giving birth to a baby with low weight. It will also protect you from gestational diabetes. You can get vitamin D by spending 30 to 40 minutes under the sunshine every day. According to the National Health Organization, the consumption of vitamin B12 during pregnancy is as important as the intake of folic acid. It is of peculiar importance for the proper functioning of the brain, immune, blood, nervous, and cardiovascular systems of the fetus. Its deficiency could lead to miscarriages, giving birth to a baby with a low weight, some congenital malformations. That is why it's so important for you to consume more foods that contain this vitamin. You can get it via eating lots of cheese, milk, meat, some shellfish and crustaceans as well. Omega-3 are fat acids that are important for the development of the central nervous system, the brain, and the vision of the fetus. You can get it via consuming more Brussels sprouts, salmon, cod fish, cauliflower, walnuts, and eggs.
With respect to food, this is the time when I started eating 6 times a day. So I was mainly aimed at eating food that contains more K vitamin because it could actually help you to heal your body after the delivery.
Vitamin K is important for the normal development of bones, teeth, and cartilage in the baby. It's very important for you as well because it strengthens blood vessels and leads to normal blood clotting, especially when in delivery. You can get it via eating more green leafy vegetables, asparagus, dried basil, dried prunes, and Brussels sprouts and pickles.
I was mostly eating soaked oat flakes with plum and apricots in the morning, along with some yogurt. Then I was having a cup of protein. I was usually taking whey protein because during the last months of your pregnancy, your body needs a lot of protein. Then for lunch, I was usually having pork or veal, again with vegetables. I would prefer to have fresh vegetables because they have a lot of vitamins in them.
During the 3rd trimester of the pregnancy, you need higher levels of protein. So that is why I'm gonna give you my most favorite recipe for either lunch or dinner. All you need is a gammon joint, some vegetables such as potatoes, broccoli, carrots, and parsnip. You need lots of herbs, olive oil, water, and a cooking tray. So what I was doing first of all was to wash carefully the gammon joint. I placed it right in the middle of the cooking tray and I seasoned it with various herbs such as parsley, oregano, black pepper. I was adding some ginger, grounded ginger and mixed herbs. On the sides, I was cutting on slices the potatoes, the carrots, the broccoli, and the parsnip. After that, I was putting half a cup of water, and I was seasoning with olive oil. On the top, I was sealing with cooking aluminium foil, and I was cooking for like 3 hours in the oven at 170 degrees. I think you're gonna love it. So bon appetit!
Early in the afternoon, I was taking another cup of whey protein just to keep fit, and sometimes I was feeling hungry more than usual, so the protein was helping me to deal with that as well. Then later in the afternoon, I was eating an egg because it has a lot of protein in it. And what is interesting to mention here is that when you eat the egg, it would be better to eat the yolks, not the yellow stuff of it. So mind that. And then for dinner, last but not least, I was eating a lot of greenery. I was usually combining that with quinoa or bulgur. So I was preparing kale and spinach for myself with some avocado, which tasted really good. With respect to sports, at this stage, you could feel a little bit heavy to do the usual workouts. So I was mainly doing yoga at home because I was stretching my body really well. I was walking on the treadmill or in the park, depending what the weather was, because I delivered in November and it's been a little bit coldish outside.
During the 3rd trimester, there are several exercises that you can practice at home and that will help you to prepare for childbirth. The first one is called the tower sitting. So actually it's an exercise that strengthens and stretches the muscles on your back, your thighs, and your pelvis. It also improves your posture and actually keeps your pelvic joints flexible and improves your blood flow to your lower part of the body, and also eases the delivery. I'm gonna show you today how to do some of the most suitable exercises during the third trimester in order to prepare your body and mind for the process of delivery. I'm gonna put a small pillow under my shirt so that I look a little bit as a pregnant. And first we are gonna do the tailor sitting. You need to sit on the floor with your back straight. You need to put your feet that way. And gently with your elbows, you should start pressing your knees toward the floor. You keep in that position for 10 seconds and you repeat 10 times. Very gently pushing the knees down. This way you will feel a stretch in your inner thighs. If you find it difficult to keep your back straight, probably you need to stand next to a wall. Very gently. Keep in 10 seconds and then relaxing. Doing it again 10 times. You can do the Kegel exercises as well. They're meant to stimulate the pelvic floor muscles, which actually support your pelvis organs such as the uterus, the bladder and the bowels. So by keeping them well toned, you actually ease lots of discomforts of the late stage of the pregnancy, such as getting hemorrhoids and leakage of urine. We are gonna do the Kegel exercises. For that purpose, you need to be comfortably sitting. It could be on the floor, on your chair, when traveling in the bus to somewhere. It doesn't matter, you just need to stay put. So what you should do is to contract your pelvic muscle. How you do that? So imagine that you're going into the bathroom and you need to stop the flow of urine. But you shouldn't be using the abdominal and thigh muscles. So when you've got a feeling that your vaginal muscles are contracting, so this is when you're using your pelvic floor muscle. In order to do the exercise Kegel, you need to contract your pelvic muscle and hold on for 10 seconds. Then relax and repeat up to 10 times. You can practice squatting as well. It's especially useful when in labor because it actually opens the pelvic outlet an extra quarter, making more room for the baby to descend. Though keep in mind that squatting is quite tiring, so you should do it more frequently during the pregnancy in order to strengthen the muscles needed. Let's go for squatting. In order to do that, you need to have your back straight. You can have your hands relaxed on the sides of the body or at the height of the shoulders, and you need to have your feet shoulder width apart. So what you do is you either have your hands down there or like that, and you just slide slowly down to a squatting position. It's like sitting on a bench just behind you. After 10 seconds, you slowly slide up to a standing position. You relax a little bit and you do that again. Slowly going down to a squat position. Holding for 10 seconds and then going back up. So this is how it should look like from a side. You should be sitting on a bench, slowly going down. Like that. holding for like 10 seconds, and then sliding up to a standing position. Repeat that up to 10 times. Last but not least, you can practice the pelvic tilt, which is actually meant to strengthen the abdominal and relieve the backache during pregnancy and when you labor. It is also meant to ease the delivery itself. In order to do the pelvic tilt exercise, you need to lay down on the floor like that. With your hands pointing down the floor and your knees pointing towards the ceiling. You need to use your abdominal muscles and slowly raise your butt as high as you can. You hold in that position for 10 seconds and then you slowly go back to the floor. You relax and then repeat again, slowly going up using your abdominal muscles only. Holding that position for 10 seconds and then slowly going down.
It's very important to do sports during the pregnancy because at this very moment you are able to give the baby more oxygen and more blood, which is very important for its development. I hope that these pieces of advice were really useful for you. I wish you to have one wonderful pregnancy full of emotions and beautiful feelings.
The autumn and winter seasons could be real devastating to your immune system, especially if you're pregnant. I myself had to deal with various conditions such as running nose and sore throat and overall fatigue. Unfortunately, when pregnant, you're not supposed to take any kind of medicines, as this could be hazardous to your baby and yourself. So that is why here I'm gonna give you some nice tips about natural remedies that could help you deal with those nasty colds. First of all, keep yourself well hydrated. You can drink between 6 and 8 glasses of water every day. Treat yourself with warm herbal teas. You can go for the chamomile mostly, or make yourself specialized immune boosting teas with lots of honey and ginger and lemon juice. Speaking about lemons, you can make yourself fresh of lemons or limes, whatever you prefer, and add some grapefruit and oranges, because this is a bomb of vitamin C that is gonna make you feel well toned and quite energized. If you want to, you can make a greenery smoothie. You can use lots of spinach, kale, green apples and lime. If you have a sore throat, it's a good idea to make gargles with warm tea of chamomile with a half teaspoon of soda. You can do that as much as you need, probably like 4 to 5 times a day. It's gonna help you deal with the pain that you feel. If you're having a running nose, I'm usually using saline nasal sprays or saline nasal irrigation, which is helping me to keep my nasal hygiene way higher than normal. It's a very good idea to relax more, because your body needs a lot of strength to deal with those bacteria or viruses you have caught. So listen to beautiful music, drink some wine, read a new novel, or just watch a nice movie. You can go for some meditation and breathing practices, because this is gonna feel you relaxed and will calm you down. Last but not least, it's a very good idea to soak your feet in a large bowl of warm water and sea salt. One of the most exciting moments of my pregnancy was the time when I started preparing my bag for the labor ward. I pictured all those articles that I was supposed to take with me into the hospital, like a pink unicorn, because the majority of them I have never ever heard of. So I started browsing the internet for getting some idea of what I need to bring with me, and after I found myself totally incapable to understand what those people are talking to me, I called my friends who has already gone through that process, so they gave me quite decent tips that I might use of. The list of things that you would definitely need to take with you is the following. First of all, you need your OB to give you a reference. It's like a referral to go to the hospital of your choice to deliver your baby. You need to show your ID card. And last, examination results such as blood group, blood test, urine test, and microbiology, especially if you're delivering naturally. You need definitely flip-flops, shower gel, shampoo, a towel, and a hair dryer for sure. It's a good idea to take a book, but don't think that you have a lot of time. And you definitely need your phone and a charger, because there are going to be so many people, like relatives, friends and siblings, who would like to congratulate you on having your baby with you finally. So I used everything in that specific order. I didn't make use of any other stuff that I have put in my bottomless bag. So all those stuff are like a must to have, but that's it. You don't have time to use anything else. I'm not an extremely religious person. I do believe in God, but I'm not praying like every single morning and every single night.
The one here is my most favorite cathedral in Edinburgh. Whenever I need some peace of mind, I usually come here and light a candle.
I like the peace that I find in the church itself. So while I was pregnant, I was quite often going to churches, lighting a candle and speaking with priests.
This is the most beautiful cathedral. It's called St. Giles. And now we are gonna give some tip to this beautiful green lead over here. Oh. Thank you so much.
It happened so that like a few days prior giving birth to my daughter, I went to one small church in Sofia, and I met this priest whom I wanted very much to read the Kiprianovi prayer to me, and he totally, refused. He said, I'm pregnant, I'm beautiful, I'm so nice, and I definitely do not need, a prayer like that one. So he said that I need a prayer for good health and happiness and internal peace and strength. So that was the prayer that he read to me. He wished me good luck. So on my way to the delivery ward, I constantly kept reminding myself about this prayer, and I started telling like millions of times a mantra that I have prepared for this occasion. Its meaning was that you're strong enough, you can do that, and you're gonna deliver a healthy baby.
There is a special place here where you can go and you can write down your wish.
So I constantly repeated that thing in my mind and out loud, so that I can hear it and I can, believe in it, so that I can find my inner peace and faith and strength, so that I can go through the delivery process.
And this is the place where you can actually write down your own wish. And you can leave it here for St. Giles to actually make it happen.
So I think that this was very, helpful, because in this moment, everything is unknown. There are so many uncertainties. You just wish for the best to happen, but still you need some kind of, something to which you can hold on. So in this case, the mantra, the prayer that the priest read to me were those little things that fostered my internal peace and and the strength. In the next episode of Witty Mermaid Diaries, you see...
I just cannot imagine how small my baby was. One of the most emotional moments in my whole life. Apart from being the most emotional moment in my whole life, this was also the most scary moment.
Because there is nothing more scary than that. But how am I gonna deal with those fragile 49 centimeters and 2,675 grams on my own? And how am I supposed to wash the baby and change diapers? What will my life look like from now on? I'm gonna tell you some more things about those scary questions, and I'm gonna offer you some hints how to deal with them.
After I delivered, I started practicing a lot because I wanted to keep fit. By the end of the first month, I was actually free of fats and all of the kilograms that I gained during the pregnancy.
I started doing the same because of her. We are training every night and doing some exercises at home because my job is also about sitting at a desk all day. It's really not that hard.
So watch the WNS TV.
Stay tuned!